Chris Heria fans reacting to anybody calling out his half-wit drop set squat.
Hate us because they ain't us.
They don't hate us because they ain't us. They don't hate us because they ain't us.
I'm used to it. They hate us because they...
Or, hear me out, what he's doing is patently stupid, dangerous, negligent, and he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Says who?
Well, funny you should ask. Him. What's up, motivators? Welcome back. It's Kevin. This is Pure Bullfit. On my last video, I got a lot of feedback from ThenX fans claiming that I'm just trying to drag a good man down. But let's be honest here. The only thing dragging Chris Heria down is his squat form. He doesn't need any help from me. But it does remind me that an important function of this channel is not just to call out the bovine fecal matter in this industry, but to also provide actionable information for people to use in their training to improve their quality of life. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. And I'm going to show you a couple of tips so that you can safely incorporate drop set squats into your routine, whether you're with your friends or on your own. But first, I want to remind folks this isn't simply about the bass-ackwards way that Chris Heria went about demonstrating drop set squats. The information he gave on how the body recruits those deeper muscle fibers is just incorrect. So if you want to know how it actually works, if you want a couple of good videos on the subject, you should check out James Linker at Shredded Sports Science. Now, I know I call his name out a lot, but he consistently puts out good information. That's why I called his name out a lot. In these two videos, James Linker does a great job of breaking down not only how drop sets work and how you might incorporate them into your training should you choose to, their place, their role, etc. But his second video, much more relevant to this one, explains exactly how the claims made by Chris Heria in his drop set video is just incorrect. He's wrong. Shredded Sports Science does a great job of breaking down complex information in such a way that anyone, even Chris Heria, could understand. But enough of that. The Heria hordes have demanded that I put up or shut up, so let's get right to it. Now, just to remind folks what we're talking about, or bring you up to speed if you didn't watch the last video, Chris Heria put out a drop set squat video in which he had people pull plates off the bar as he was holding it to reduce the weight mid-set, in the interest of time under tension. And I think this is a dangerous practice, but you can kind of see why they would think that's necessary from what you see here. It takes time to strip the plates off, you have to get back into the bar, regain a proper position, and if you're overly concerned with time under tension, this can feel like you're losing out on valuable time during the squat. I understand if you're alone, but there are options. Sensible alternative one, ask for help. I didn't know these two guys, but they were more than willing to help me out. I even told them they were going to be on a video and they didn't mind. So what you do is you re-rack the weight very quickly while they pull it off, maintaining tension on your shoulders. You can see why that's important because even with it on the rack, they still couldn't pull it off uniformly and there was a little bit of shift in the bar. By maintaining tightness like you see here, you're going to maintain a safe position. You're not going to waste any time in between and you're going to be able to complete the sets back to back. No lost time under tension. Now, my favorite option, because I'm usually alone in the gym when I'm training, is what you see here. When you can't safely do a drop set, swap it out for a superset of related exercises instead. What you see me doing here is the back squat followed by the goblet squat and then air squats, increasingly lighter loads, very minimal time in between exercises. 6 reps at 315 pounds. I try and double that with a 120-pound dumbbell for 12 reps. And then I will do absolutely as many air squats as I can. Now what you see here is the second set. And I can't even front. 2 is all it took to kick my ass. If I had tried 3 sets of this, they'd have been pulling my ass out on a stretcher. Definitely don't try this after a big meal. Now, I ended up getting 6, 12, and then 18 reps respectively for the exercises, but that's not strictly important. It doesn't even have to be these 3 exercises or only 3 exercises. Just take related exercises that use the same muscle groups. And if you're seeking to exhaust and recruit the most muscle fibers and motor neurons as possible through drop set style training, through going to absolute fatigue, this is a way that you can do that safely without risking yourself. You don't need to stand there like a half-wit and have people pull plates off of a bar unevenly and put your lumbar spine at risk. There's no call for it, and these are some very simple workarounds for that. Now, Chris Heria's assertion that this was the only way to activate deep muscle fibers and more motor neurons was incorrect. It is a way that you can do it. It's also an incredibly difficult HIIT workout. It will get your heart pumping. So you can incorporate it and use it that way as well. Just don't think that it's the only way, because there's precious few only ways to accomplish something. But some are safer than others. There you go. Some simple workarounds for those dead set on drop sets. Now, I want to stress again, this is not the only way to activate those deep muscle fibers as covered in James's response video. Seriously, if you haven't already, go watch that video and save yourself the humiliation of mindlessly repeating the drivel coming out of half-wit Heria's mouth. You're a half-wit Heria. Squatting is simultaneously one of the most natural and technical movements our body is capable of. So respect it. Now, with that out of the way, I wanted to take a moment to make a correction, an apology, and a few recommendations for those people out there looking for reliable resources. Now, to be clear, outside of the Damn Collective, I don't have any formal or informal business relationship with any of the people that I'm mentioning here. I am simply familiar with their content, or I've had the opportunity to work with or alongside them. See that they are solid and reliable people if you need to go to somebody for information or resources. First off, a correction.
Yes, you were wrong, so put it kindly. Apparently you were just stabbing blindly. Shooting in the dark, you really missed the mark. You were wrong, you were wrong, you were wrong.
In my last video on supplementation, I pointed out that there are two primary reasons that someone should supplement. Either to address a deficiency or for convenience. In regards to addressing a deficiency, I pointed out that vegans need to supplement glutamine because they can't get it in their diet as they don't eat meat. That statement was incorrect. That comment came from an article I had been reading about vegan bodybuilders oftentimes supplementing glutamine because it's something that wasn't present in their diet, and I took that comment out of context because I simply didn't know better. So the community reached out and asked me to clarify. They gave me some polite outs, but the fact of the matter was I was wrong. You guys reached out and you corrected me, and that's something that we need. And around here, we believe in being accountable. When you're wrong, you fix it, and you admit it, and you give out better information in the future. So I want to thank you guys for reaching out and pointing out the error in my information and the information that I put out there. And I want to encourage you to keep on doing that because that's the only way we're eventually going to clean up this industry. As it turns out, there's a lot of vegetables that are rich in glutamine, so thank you guys for helping me fill that gap in my knowledge. Second, an apology. In a recent video I made called Online Community Fitness Flop or Follow, I intended to call out Brian Allrush from Neversate.com as a reliable resource for powerlifting and for strongman, but in editing the video, I accidentally cut him out entirely. Now, his name wasn't the only name called out by the community of folks that I should have talked about or they would like me to mention in the future, but he is one that I actually intended to include in the video in the first place. You can see here from the description, I included his link, but I cut him out of the video by accident. I really enjoy Brian's content, and I truly believe he is the person he presents himself to be in his videos. He is not just a great source of information, but of inspiration as well. I really suggest checking him out. While I did not make a complete list of people that you should follow, he was definitely supposed to be on it. So, Brian, I'm sorry, man. Lastly, I wanted to call out a few more reliable resources that I've encountered recently. People that I've had the opportunity to work with or alongside or witness what they're capable of. Folks that I feel comfortable recommending to others. If you're looking for an engaging and entertaining podcast on the subjects of life, motivation, resilience, overcoming obstacles, business, and fitness, check out Warrior Soul Agogi on iTunes, Instagram, and YouTube. Chris Albert is a former Marine like myself who has made it his mission to provide resources for veterans and civilians alike to overcome obstacles, learn how to be resilient, and accomplish their goals. I was recently on his podcast for my very first interview, and it provided me the opportunity to learn a lot more about the guy. And he is one motivating mother. You get the idea. Look, if you like the content here, you'll like it there as well. So go ahead and check him out. A fellow competitor at the Athlenex Games and I became instant friends. And in recent days, she's decided to go from training part-time to full-time. Natalia of Train with Natis on Instagram is the real deal. Not only is she knowledgeable, well-educated, and an experienced trainer, she's an absolute beast of a competitor. This isn't your average Insta trainer. She's the hardest worker in the room, whip, crack, smart, and you won't hear her say that about herself. She's too damn humble, so I'll say it for her. If you're looking for an online trainer, check her out. And of course, if you have 50 to 100 pounds to lose, I am going to continue to recommend the Damn Collective Weight Management and Accountability Service that I am a part of. If you have a significant amount of weight to lose or struggle with food addiction, I firmly believe that you cannot find better service for the price. We offer daily contact, weekly face-to-face, nutritional and physical activity guidance. We help you build the skills during your time with us so that you can self-manage and be completely independent of us moving forward for the rest of your life. This is not a program that will help you lose a bunch of weight right now and then leave you stranded and on your own without having taught you a single thing along the way. No, this program is intended to teach you the skills that you need in order to have a healthy relationship with food and activity for the rest of your life. But honestly, that is only part of what we do. Co-founder of the Damn Collective and founder of Damn Serenity Athletics, Crystal Roberts is one of the best decisions that you can make in online coaching. In addition to her decades as a yoga instructor, she has recently launched a new program, Hellfire Circuit Training. You could do it at home with nothing more than a few dumbbells or resistance bands. It's quite effective program. It will kick your butt. Now, I don't work directly for Damn Serenity Athletics, and she did not ask me for this plug. I am recommending her because I believe in her, because she is one of the best damn coaches I have ever seen in her disciplines. What I've learned in just her beginner yoga classes has drastically reduced my day-to-day pain, increased my flexibility, and reduced my recovery time. Best yet, her monthly rates for yoga are insanely affordable. You would spend more for a single session at many yoga places than you will for an entire month of pre-recorded and live yoga sessions through her service. And if you're one of those mouth-breathing wall touchers that thinks yoga's for sissies, I dare you to try a single session and we'll see how much smack you're still talking. Okay guys, that's everything I wanted to share with you today, and I'm sorry it took so long to get this video out. One of the most consistent bits of feedback that I've received from the community is that the sound could use some improvement, that and the lighting, and I'm working on both of those things. In fact, the damn microphone was supposed to have arrived today. It's one of the things that I was waiting for. So hopefully this is the last video with questionable sound quality that I'll upload. Hopefully that microphone comes pretty soon. As always, thank you guys for your support. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. And until then,